Have you ever spent 10 or 15 minutes writing a simple work email because you weren't sure if your English sounded professional enough? You know what you want to say, you understand the situation, but when it's time to actually write the email, you hesitate. You rewrite sentences several times, or you worry that the message sounds too direct, too weak, or maybe even confusing. And in professional environments, email communication matters. So people often judge professionalism, confidence, and communication skills based on how someone writes emails. So even highly capable professionals sometimes struggle, not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack the right professional phrases. And that becomes a communication problem. So in today's presentation, I'm going to walk you through 50 professional English phrases commonly used in workplace emails. So if you want to sound more confident, more professional in your business emails, you have come to the right place, and this presentation will help. Let's dive right in. Welcome and welcome back to those who are returning. This is Coach Theodore, and today's topic is email English. What we're going to cover are 50 professional phrases, 50 professional English phrases that you can use to write better business emails at work. Now, these are going to be practical phrases professionals use every day to communicate clearly, politely, confidently. And if your English is your second language, this lesson will help you sound more professional in your written communication. Let's dive right in. So, how are we going to start an email? All right. So, you want to set a professional, sometimes a warm tone from the very first line. So, let's just take a look at how we do that. Let's open up our email. You can say something like, I hope you're doing well. Right? This creates a first impression. So, and it's important to sound professional and approachable. Right? And I hope you're doing well is a friendly and widely accepted business greeting. Phrases like, I'm writing to follow up. Now, this is a clear signal of the purpose of the email right from the beginning. I'd like to discuss. This opens the door for dialogue or collaboration. Even though you're in email, you are still having a dialogue and communicating. Just reaching out regarding. Casual, yet this is very professional. It's a professional way to introduce a topic. Now let's focus on stating your purpose clearly. Be direct, tell your reader why you're writing, but tell them why in the correct way. So you can say something very straightforward, such as the purpose of this email is formal and it is not ambiguous. I wanted to update you on. So this one signals that there is some new information that is included in the email, and you're going to be sharing it. I'm contacting you about. Straightforward and professional. This is to inform you that. Use for official or important notices. See, each one has a purpose and it clearly states why you are writing. Very, very important. So let's say you're making a request. So you want to ask clearly and politely without sounding demanding. Could you please review? This is polite and professional. You're asking for some form of feedback or approval. Would you mind confirming? Now, this softens the request even more, but it is respectful, and you are asking for confirmation. Can you provide an update? Ask for the status of something, and you're checking in a professional way. Please let me know. Open-ended invites a response. So the real message here is that a strong email or strong email communication is often about balancing clarity and politeness. Clarify your message. Now, one of the reasons you want to clarify your message is that it's very easy to have a misunderstanding happen in email communication. So that's why these phrases I'm sharing with you in today's lesson will help ensure everyone stays aligned and understands what's going on in the way it was intended. Let's take a look at just to clarify. This gently corrects or adds precision to a previous point. To confirm, verify shared understanding. As discussed, references a prior conversation or meeting. And let me make sure I understand. Shows active listening and careful comprehension. If you're finding this information useful so far, please give us a like. Next, we have information. You're sharing information. You want to keep the reader informed in a very clear, a very organized way. So let's start out with, here's an update. Casual lead-in for status or news. Please find attached. Standard phrase when sending files. I'd like to share. Warm but collaborative, and it introduces content. For your reference. Provides context without requiring immediate action. Now let's focus on explaining information clearly. You want to be able to guide your reader through reasoning with confidence. Let's start with, this means that. This translates technical or complex points. Simply, you're giving that person a signal that you're going to translate a technical or complex point in a simple way. The reason is, provides transparent rationale for a decision. As a result, will connect the cause to an effect clearly. This impacts, highlights downstream effects on people or processes. In other words, it explains who is going to be affected by whatever is under discussion. Sometimes you have to express agreement. Now, expressing agreement clearly and properly will build trust and momentum. That sounds good. It's very casual, but positive in its approval. I agree with this. Direct endorsement of a proposal or idea. That works for me. Confirms availability or acceptance. I'm aligned with this. Professional way to show strategic agreement. Now let's look at disagreement. There is such a thing as disagreeing professionally. And in business, you're not always going to agree with someone else's idea or proposals, what have you. So these phrases will help you disagree respectfully. I see it differently. This opens a dialogue, a communication without dismissing the point of view of others. I'm not sure this works. Expresses doubt while staying constructive and positive. We may need to reconsider, suggest a group rethinks what they're uh, what they're thinking about or discussing. It's not a personal attack. I have a concern. This flags an issue before it becomes a problem. Communicating deadlines. So deadlines are a critical part of workplace communication. So you want to be clear about time. It keeps everyone accountable. Please complete by assigns a firm specific deadline. The deadline is states the due date directly, and there is um, there's no um, misunderstanding. It's unambiguous. We need this by. This will convey urgency without being harsh. This is time sensitive. Flags priority without specifying an exact date. Following up. Now, this is critical and important, and it needs to be done correctly as part of your workplace communication skills. You want to stay on someone's radar without being pushy or overly aggressive. So you might use a phrase such as just following up. Simple, non-intrusive nudge, as we say. Any updates on this? Friendly status check. Gentle reminder. We do say gentle reminder in writing. Warm but clear. The task is still pending. Checking in on this. Conversational, low pressure follow through. Good follow-up communication keeps projects moving forward. And you want to close with confidence, end on a professional note, leave a lasting and a positive final impression. And the phrases that are following will help you end emails politely and professionally. For example, thank you for your time. Acknowledges the reader's effort and attention. Looking forward to your reply. Sets expectation for a response. Appreciate your help. Warm sign-off that builds goodwill. Best regards. Professional, versatile closing line. Remember, ending well is just as important as starting well. Action. So now we're going to focus on driving action. These phrases help move work forward by clearly identifying next steps and responsibilities. Next steps are summarizes what happens after the email. We will proceed with confirms a decision or direction has been made. Let's move forward with. Energetic, collaborative call to action. I'll take the lead on. Shows ownership and initiative. Finally, these phrases help you wrap up emails very clearly and also very professionally. Please confirm receipt. This will ensure your message was received and acknowledged. Let me know if you have questions. Keeps communication open, shows you're approachable. So there you have. You have 50 professional phrases to communicate with clarity, confidence, and respect in any business email. Please give us a like. Please share. Please subscribe. Please comment. And we will see you next time as we continue our linguistic adventure together. Take care, everyone.